Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fairway Media. We have All Day Disc Golf presenting the 2022 Summer End Fling. This is also sponsored by Fort George. And go visit All Day Disc Golf, alldaydg.com. I'm Justin Banks here with Aaron Hursey. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Very excited to watch some coverage out on this beautiful course in Astoria, Oregon.
And we are watching Fletcher White, yourself, Jeremy Fancher, and Daniel Kitchens.
Yeah, good group of guys here.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the fun little drone flight of this wonderful course out at Fort Stevens in Hammond, Oregon, just past Astoria. 325 feet for your hole one.
Yeah, just kind of a stock hyzer out here to the right. Had a little bit of right to left wind pushing stuff that way anyway. And Fletcher off the tee first here. Nice shot.
Did I say Fort Stevens or Fort George? Because there's both names involved, and this is the historical Fort Stevens course. All right, so what are you throwing here?
This is a Madison Tomaino evader, actually. Just boosted a little bit too far.
Wow, that's got some good hyzer on it. That flew well.
As far as I can tell.
And here comes Jeremy. I like his tie-dye shirt. It comes out easily on the camera here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty stock hyzer on this shot. Ooh, and he flashes the basket.
Yeah, just need to get outside that first tree on the left there. Daniel's doing well here.
Yeah, and Daniel goes for the hyzer as well.
It's like a park job.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like you're a little furthest out. The left to right headwind, it looks like?
I think it's left to right mostly.
Okay.
And just kind of get dropped.
Easy choice.
Yeah, I was definitely not running that, so.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and Jeremy kind of runs one off the top of the band there.
Just a slight adjustment is for that. Here comes
Fletcher. Airmailing a little bit there. Probably a little bit of nerves having filming out on the coverage there that day.
excellent recovery there for Jeremy.
And good par
So I've been
save.
filming for a few years, and I always forget. Some people get the camera nerves because I'm super comfortable out there. I hope anybody watching understands. I ask these guys if I'm ever in your way, let me know. So these guys never asked, so I try to get the cool shots, and these guys were letting me have them. All right, here comes hole 2, par 4, 530. So yeah, I flew this on the second day in the morning. That's really the only time I had. So it's a little dark. Thanks for your patience on that.
Yeah, but just a pretty short par 4, relatively kind of soft, as long as you can get something going left to right off the tee for a simple approach.
So hole 2 was a par 4. Yeah, like you said, it's a soft par 4, and it actually averaged as the easiest hole. The MPO scored 3.27 average. So let's see how these guys do.
Yeah, so Fletcher put that nice little backhand hyzer out there. I didn't even see that hole until he threw it. It was great, though.
And we're super lucky enough to have a little gallery on the hill here by the flag.
Great shot.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to have a group of people up there on the hill cheering and watching. It's a beautiful day for disc golf watching.
And an excellent 4 to the cards coming back on the axe hole, or whichever hole that is. I forget the number. It's like 6 or something.
Yeah, 6 is right. Oh, and then there's Jeremy kind of throwing a forehand turnover that worked out pretty well from his pinched off spot there.
So you've gotten to play this course a few times, yeah?
Before the tournament, I only actually got to play the first 18 holes. So this day I was actually playing the last 5 holes blind. But it's a great course. I've been on a couple times since. Ooh, nice birdie there
Yeah,
by
it's an
Fletcher.
excellent property. It's super fun to soak in the history there at the pier or the port. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, whole state park with camping and disc golf, obviously, 23 holes. And I've heard talk about them introducing a number of other holes, like another 18-hole course. So
That's fantastic.
great little disc golf destination on the coast of Oregon.
Yeah, they have a lot of love in this location here with the with the state park employees. So really appreciate them welcoming us out here. Good birdie there, Aaron.
Yeah, thank you.
And moving to hole 3, it's a dogleg right over the OB of this building. I forget what they call this area. It's like a little armory or something. But yeah, the basket will be over here near this tree. It's kind of roped off on this logs, but the logs were not OB, if I remember right. The flags were.
Yeah, flag line would be kind of an island, but like mostly just the gravel and the concrete is OB. So you got to kind of lay up or fly all the way into those logs. Another left to right moving shot here. Great forehand by Daniel. Ooh.
Taking advantage of the height.
That's to be roll.
And some fun of the shipping line there.
Back to A-roll.
And back to the action.
Fletcher,
going backhand.
Not known for throwing too many forehands off the tee, but tries that backhand turnover. I definitely prefer the forehand for most shots, so this is kind of a shot that I really enjoy right there.
Nice shot.
Wow, you dialed that in. Great shot. And here comes Jeremy.
Jeremy
Similar
doing the
angle.
same. Not quite getting as much right fade.
Yeah, he kind of said, "Uh-oh," off the bat.
So
this is the drop zone.
I
Yeah.
think he actually went out of bounds. This is where we marked him out of bounds. So then he was
is that right?
approaching the green. And Jeremy was in bounds, not quite to that little river there of gravel. Daniel cashing in his birdie. It was a good birdie.
It looks like a pretty standard 12-footer or so.
Yeah, not too bad.
Great way to capitalize on the drive with your birdie. And yep, you get to take a little bit of meter there. Jeremy takes his par. And Fletcher takes the bogue. Unfortunately, the first one for his day. And that takes us to hole 4 with a little bit of cool view as you walk to it. This bunker is really neat. I wanted to include this. So hole 3 is 345 feet. You're going to shoot over this little berm that you see in the front of the camera.
Yeah, there's a little bunker up there. You really want to try and just put yourself out right with something stable and crash back in around behind it. Kind of similar to hole 1, just a little bit further extended. And I'm not sure if the bunker played OB or not, but it's definitely not a spot you want to be trying to throw out of.
That would be an interesting shot, but I don't think I would have wanted to. All right,
there's Daniel ripping
not a tournament.
Yeah, the backhand out there.
And I should have chosen the catch cam for this first round, but we get to see most of the flight here. Oh, that's coming in hot.
Yeah, it's probably kind of close to the basket, but a little inside and left. Jeremy's kind of heading towards that bunker.
Ooh. I kind of lost it filming. He went past it, of course.
And then I think the wind just sort of died for Fletcher's shot. Didn't really push him at all.
Yeah, He was
It's gonna be
expecting more.
surprising today with, how-
Okay, so this is he is a quick shooter, so I had to get that one
Running it.
really quickly. That was a good run. That was a good
definitely.
layup.
Daniel's got about a 28 footer here. Ooh, great birdie. 4 for 4 start. That's pretty ideal out here.
Yeah, that was a fantastic start. And a fantastic putt.
Oh, then just getting the sort of the am side spit out there. And I miss one of those standard 12-foot putts we talked about.
You did have some angle downhill, so there
It was
is
a
something
little,
there.
yeah, a little downhill and into the wind, so it was kind of hard to make that decision. But thanks for the out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that easy. All right, I have messed worse. Moving to the next hole, which is 5. This is a fun little tee shot. You got a 296 target. You kind of have a low ceiling to punch this out. Most people are going to go backhand unless you're you. I believe you have a fun shot here. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is a great hole. It's a small little window you're punching out of, but kind of the first hole
And
out closer to the water, so you're dealing with a lot more wind out here. Feels different from this protected woods than it does out there. And then, yeah, definitely want to put this one close if you can. Daniel does a nice backhand through the gap.
Yep. Yeah, and each hole has a little bit of a factoid. Keep your interest on the scenery. Here's that forehand we were talking about. What was that?
That's a Champion Leopard 3. Just kind of flick it through the gap to make sure it gets out there and let it do its thing.
That is not easy to do. Good shot.
Thank you. Yeah, most people doing this backhand, but it's so scary to me to try and hit that gap.
Yeah, and we hit the ceiling for Fletcher, and Jeremy is going for the skip, and dang, he hit the concrete.
Ooh.
Bring it up.
Nice approach there.
Excellent upshot.
Fletcher putting one close.
Textbook. What a cool view. I would get distracted on this putt with just looking over the basket.
Ooh, just a little short. You can't really tell, but it is pretty windy out here. There's a good little drop off behind the basket.
After that basket, yeah, like you were saying, yeah.
That's a great birdie.
And with their design of these, I guess, concrete bases, they can really move these wherever they want.
Yeah, kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, super cool. So hole 6 has a large, wide fairway. That lower green is still safe if you dare to go down there. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go par 4, 555 feet into the tree line here. What else do we say about this guy?
Yeah, another par
standard.
4 that's kind of soft. Yeah, I definitely want to pick up this birdie. A little bit of OB right behind the basket in this little bunker if you happen to find it. Otherwise, you just don't want to turn over your drive into the water. But that's pretty tough to do. Try not to be distracted by the beautiful Columbia River.
And you wanted that one back. Spoiler alert, it does stay in bounds, so I kind of lost it on the camera there.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
This looks like a little bit more the ideal route there. Just something fast and stable out to the right, end up in the middle somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see where Fletcher goes. Ooh, right down the middle.
Nice shot.
Looks nice.
Yeah, pretty ideal spot right there.
That's a fun looking disc.
Yes.
The
like
loose
one of
side
those-
of that thing.
Is that one of those GG rates?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some color on that disc. All right.
Yeah, kinda
he lands right in the
Seahawks-esque.
fairway. Yeah.
Oh, just pulled his
Looks
approach
like
a little bit to the
a little
right.
more right than he wanted. Didn't quite hyzer enough. It's like kind of left of where he landed.
And then
Daniel goes
Daniel's
overhand.
looked great off the tee, but was kind of stuck in that branch right there. Tries to throw the hammer, just stalls out a little early. And then Fletcher with the hyzer approach just leaves it a little short.
A little short, yeah. I think he's got one tree in his way for his putt. All right, so I went with the wide shot here because I figured I'd get most of the action. Let's see where you land.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, actually chained out for the eagle there with my berg.
Dang, great shot. Well, I love
Very
that disc
close.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost puts it into the fort door.
Yeah, I didn't think it would come into play, but definitely I
I
thought about
guess
it
it
more than
can.
once. Yeah. Jeremy just a little high with this putt. It's been a little off
no.
with this putt so far.
Daniel cleans his par. Similar shot for you, just a little bit closer. Let's get a better view, what'd you say?
Yeah, I was came in from the sunshine, the darkness couldn't see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to find that birdie.
Great shot. Take advantage while you can. And pars for the rest of the guys here. Moving to 7.
Oh yes, hole
7
7.
does. Go ahead and talk about 7 for me.
I think probably the only mostly impossible birdie on the course. 465 with OB, shooting from OB. Got to kind of cross this little undulation here into the field to make it inbounds. And then the basket is elevated up on this little mound, slightly protected by a couple of trees. Just a really tough hole to try and want to bite off enough to look at the birdie with the OB.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's got to
is
be a monster drive for a 2 look.
Yeah. And it's got to end up in a pretty ideal spot.
Mm-hmm.
Still somewhat close to the water out here, so the wind is blowing.
I love this location as well. Maybe some people would mark it a 4, but I understand the 3. If we
Yeah,
have
actually-
other soft 4s.
If they moved the basket further along the little berm, the kind of where it's sitting on top, the beginning of it, further back into the left, I think that might be a good par 4.
Oh, there you go. That's a great idea. So
But
with our
as it is-
descriptions, most of these guys are kind of just playing right to the middle to prepare their upshots.
Yep, just can't turn it over. Got to keep it stable out to the left, and then approach somewhat close so you don't have to run a long putt on the elevated basket.
It's a bad idea.
That is a stable.
Four inbounds,
This
probably.
must be brand new.
Yeah, I think it's that Halo Wraith.
Yeah, I'll go.
He was throwing that day.
Ooh, he wants that one back. He pulled it right.
Yeah, I think he kind of tripped on his run up. You could see him kind of follow through off to the right.
All right, he'll have an sorry, Fletcher will have a upshot there through the shadow. Here
And
comes
then
Jeremy. Almost throws
Jeremy
it
kind of
in.
giving, yeah, basket a scare there.
Why not?
And I want
Is this
nothing to
the
do with
bird?
that. Yep, just want to throw it under the basket and take my 3.
Not much of a look there for Daniel.
Yeah, and that's a pretty smart
Smart
call
choice.
to just lay it up there. And a good putt by Jeremy for the par.
Scary 3, but perfect. Yep.
Yeah, that's about Jeremy.
That looks a pretty ideal shot for most. Right here, within circle 1.
Yeah, 6-foot tap in. Take it every time on that hole for par. One of only 2 holes that didn't have a birdie on the day.
All right, here comes hole 8, 287 feet. This is working with the tree line here now. Would you consider this an ace run?
Yeah, it's kind of safe to throw something maybe mid-range or putter up there. Try and get the right line. Won't go too far past or skip too past, and that's what I'm doing here. Is just throwing an MD3 down the middle. Let it slide up close to the basket.
Nice and smooth. Great shot. Here comes Mr. White.
Nice shot up the middle as well. Following my line
Also
very well.
ideal.
Yeah. It's kind of protected on the tee pad. You don't feel much wind, but right once you get past into the sunlight here, the wind really pops up. Jeremy throwing just a little bit too long.
Goes back the stop there. And this is about right when they're starting their audio testing for the music festival the local radio stations were doing, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, it's fun to have some music over the loudspeakers while playing.
Yeah, and if you didn't get a chance to be at the tournament, there was a really cool stage using the larger part of the fort. That's really cool.
Nice run there by Daniel.
It is one of the challenges also of this course. Those concrete blocks can make you roll a little bit. Probably not too far there for Daniel.
Ooh, great birdie from the knee. Jeremy there. Couple tap in birdies hopefully for Fletcher and I here.
Yeah, good work, guys.
And a good par save for Daniel.
Daniel putts pretty hard. Good thing it caught that. All right. So, hole 9, 219 feet. This is where we're working with more trees in our way. Should be a fun little punch through some V options, or right through the middle gap. I think people will go for mostly. But yeah, it looks like there is a short hyzer available as well on the right.
Yeah, I mean, part of the great part of this course and this hole is that there are just so many options off the tee. I think we'll see a number of the different ones displayed here, but just it's fun to have options off the tee.
What's also fun about this hole is that they're using the little different undulations in the ground, because you could get a different skip no matter which way you go.
Wow, that worked really well. Wow.
Or a different skip if you go the same route each time. You never know.
Yeah, just right at the basket works pretty well.
That was
There's
a nice
that
little
hyzer
skip.
line.
Yep, here's the
Hyzer
hyzer.
line you were talking about. Just absolutely pins the basket there.
Yeah, nothing in the way for Mr. White. Oh no, a little turnover, but it laid down there. You should have a putt.
3 different lines, and now we'll see a 4th different line.
Nice.
Ooh.
He kind of rode that little berm there.
Yeah, the matched the elevation of the grass there. Catches in his birdie putt.
That was
putt.
so slick. He is so on point from far. That was nice.
Yeah, he's got a great kind of stepper putt that he uses outside the circle to great effect. And I just pull my putt a little bit. Definitely wanted that one back.
Sure, you got that one, Fletcher?
Park job. Don't hit your head, buddy. Great shot. Number 10, 297 feet. Pretty wide open for the most, for the first part of this hole. It'll be to the right in the cluster of trees where you'll see here in a moment. So yeah, if you skip over these trees on the left and penetrate in there, you'll have a good shot, hopefully.
Yeah, another hole with a couple options, either the backhand spike hyzer out to the right or the forehand spike hyzer out to the left.
There is a large tree to get over. Not too hard for these guys.
Fletcher going for that backhand. Looks pretty solid there.
Nice. That looked ideal. So here comes the forehand.
Nice smooth release. Using some of the wind.
Like that.
Don't get too
Yeah, you got a little help
And-
from the wind pushing it in there. Crash in.
Yeah, a little bit of plinko at the end. Hopefully it ends up in a good spot.
Nice
I'm trying to do
hyzer.
pretty much the same thing there. At least give myself a chance to be close.
Yeah, you'll have a good look, hopefully.
Jeremy goes kind of more right at it. Just barely gets caught by that first
That had
tree.
some turn that might have helped a little bit. Oh, he goes for the skip shot.
That's
Oh,
fun.
that was fun to watch.
Ooh, Fletcher a little bit further away than I thought he would be.
Yeah. And you're
But can I touch this tree while I shoot or
and
not?
you're checking to see if you can lean on that,
Yeah,
which
as long as
obviously you
you're
cannot.
you're allowed to
You
touch
figure
it.
out here. But yeah, you've got not many options. I didn't have
Yeah.
many to film either.
Yeah, it
Not
was
a
kind
problem.
of a yoga putt, trying to get my foot over one place and my body on another one. And give enough
Like, I've
spin on the
prepared my
disc.
whole life for this moment.
That was a lot harder putt than you made it look.
Yeah, it looks so smooth, but I know from being in those positions,
Yeah, that's
your hip's gonna hurt later.
hard on the hips maybe for some. All right, good 2. And that's a 3.
Yeah, Daniel filtered
Fun,
well
fun,
in there.
different hole. I love the variety on this course. It's really fun to watch. Next time I go out there, I'll play it myself if I have time. Hole 11, 355 feet. This is on the right side of the tree line, as the drone will figure out here in a moment.
Yeah, another left to right moving shot. I mean, I suppose you could throw a huge, big old spike behind there or back in to the right, but it would require the right type of wind, I think. So most people are going to do left to right shot on the left side.
Mhm.
I think the wind was actually a little bit left to right on this day as well.
Yes, and beware, the wind does pick up more as the day goes on, and I was very lucky with the drone there. It showed like 0 wind, so this is different for these guys. That was a clean shot from Daniel.
Yeah, nice release. Looks like it's pretty close to the basket down there. I'm trying to follow suit here.
It's pretty helpful when you have decent lines to watch, huh?
Yeah, Daniel's got a great forehand. It's easy to just kind of try and match what he does. Hopefully it ends up as good. Just
A little low for
yeah,
Fletch.
that left to right wind.
Ooh, getting some turn.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, but I think that's a real good drive.
Yeah, it looks great.
What?
Looks like it's pretty close to basket there.
And then there's the rare forehand.
Yeah, Fletcher does a couple of forehands, but only for approaches. And then Jeremy ends up here for a nice birdie.
Yeah, as he dodges the squirrels. We got him in the middle part where they've got little homes everywhere. And you'll see it again in the second half as well. Spoiler. Squirrel spoiler.
Tap in about a 12-foot birdie here, and then you can see Daniel's park job there in the green disc. It's a great drive off the hole, off the tee.
So that takes us to our break for round one. Take a look at the highlights.
A couple great putts by the card mates here today.
And I put this little effect on it to make it look like we're, looking through the fort. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, thanks again to our sponsors. Stick around for the next view of our coverage. Thanks again for watching Fairway Media.